Welcome to Literary Insights. This is the summary of the book Way of the Wolf, Jordan Belfort. If you like this content, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Jordan Belfort came up with the straight line system suddenly one evening in front of his struggling employees, the Strattonites. They were stockbrokers struggling to close wealthy clients. Belfort asked the Strattonites to list all the objections they faced. After listing 14, Belfort realized most were excuses due to uncertainty and a lack of certainty about the product, company, or salesperson. The key was addressing uncertainty. While staring at the list of objections, Belfort had an epiphany that every sale is the same. He realized sales followed a repetitive process that could be mapped out systematically. Belfort gained insight into the strategies and experiences behind his successful system. He now saw the potential in his brokers and was determined to teach them. The straight line system was born from this breakthrough. The key points of the straight line system are: 1. Every sale follows a straight line from open to close. The goal is to keep prospects moving along this line to agree to buy. 2. There are two types of sales: perfect laydown sales where prospects say yes easily, and typical sales where prospects try to take control. Salespeople must guide prospects back to the straight line. 3. The straight line represents staying focused on relevant topics to make the sale. Going above the line means getting distracted. Going below means unsuitable topics. Salespeople must keep the conversation within the straight line's boundaries. 4. To overcome objections, address the underlying uncertainty by building certainty about the product, company, and salesperson. Objections are often excuses, not the real reasons for not buying. The summary covers the key details about how Belfort developed the straight line system, the components and strategies of the system, the types of sales and objections the system addresses, and the goals of keeping the prospect moving along the straight line. Please let me know if you would like me to clarify or expand the summary in any way. The straight line system is an effective sales methodology focused on progressing prospects to a close. It involves taking control of the conversation, gathering intelligence, building rapport, and increasing the prospect's level of certainty to motivate a yes. The three core elements are: 1. The 3 10s. The prospect must love your product, 10 tenths, trust and connect with you, 10 tenths, and trust and connect with your company, October 10th. Increase their certainty in all areas. 2. Asking for the order. Ask for the sale to find laydown prospects. If no, move to the next element. 3. Looping. Address objections by increasing certainty without breaking rapport. Loop back to asking for the order. Continue until October 10th, 10, and the sale is made. Additional elements include lowering a prospect's action threshold, the level of certainty needed to buy, and leveraging their pain points to create urgency. Mastering these techniques allows students to become persuasive closers. However, the approach could seem manipulative or pushy to some. Adaptability and balancing structure with personal connection are important. Other key points: first impressions matter and happen quickly. Establish yourself as sharp, enthusiastic, and an expert within 4 to 10 seconds. If not, you likely lose the sale. People prefer doing business with experts. Establish yourself as one quickly through your knowledge, success stories, and by speaking confidently about technical details in a simple way. Tone of voice and vocal qualities have a huge impact on perceptions and communication. Convey the right qualities to match the impression you want to make. For example, speak energetically to show passion. There are 29 tones, but 10 core ones for persuading. Likewise, infinite gestures, but 10 key principles. You already know them intuitively, but now must use them deliberately. Examples: power whisper, modulate speed and pace, bottled enthusiasm below the surface. Enunciate to convey intensity. Make subtle shifts for impact. With minimal training, you'll see at least 50% increase in sales, especially in short cycles. The good enough factor means even low competence gets results. In summary, the straight line system trains salespeople in an effective set of techniques for advancing and closing more deals by strategically progressing prospects based on gaining intelligence, handling objections, and adapting communication. Mastering key vocal and nonverbal skills enhances these techniques. Tonality and body language are extremely powerful tools for influencing others and achieving persuasive communication. Mastering just 10 core principles in these areas can significantly improve your ability to influence and get results. Speak with confidence and vary your tone to keep the listener engaged. The unconscious mind controls emotions and behavior, so influencing it is key. The conscious mind focuses on logic but can be swayed by the unconscious mind. Use words to persuade the conscious mind. Use tone and body language for the unconscious mind. Combine them for the most persuasive case. Manage your emotional state to access your abilities and influence others. State management means controlling your emotions to achieve a goal. Empowered states give you access to your abilities while disempowered states block them. Use state management strategically before key moments. Olfactory anchoring sets an empowered state using your sense of smell. Choose a smell linked to that state, intensify your emotions, then anchor them to the smell. Reactivating that smell will trigger the state. Practice makes this an unconscious process. NLP anchoring pairs an emotional state with a trigger, sound, gesture to recall the state later. The author found issues reaching peak states and setting effective triggers. Olfactory anchoring resolves these issues using smell as a powerful trigger. Movies intensify emotions using vivid senses. Apply this to your mental images. NLP anchoring has 5 steps. Olfactory anchoring simplifies this to choose a state and set a smell anchor. Smells strongly linked to memory and emotion. Rapidly shifting between 10 influencing tonalities in speech can overwhelm the listener's mind. Their processing focuses on the tonal shifts, allowing you to influence their inner monologue and persuade them before resistance arises. The 10 tonalities are stern, sing-song, monotone, surprised, whispered, booming, fast, slow, loud, soft. Mastering tonality and the 10 principles allows you to influence others like natural salespeople. Most struggle without this mastery. Does this summary cover the key highlights from the original response? Let me know if you would like me to clarify or expand on any part of this summary. Pay attention to body language and match the prospects. Matching builds rapport. Match about 72% of the time, don't overdo it or it seems insincere. Crossed arms can mean being closed off, but don't assume. It could just mean the person is cold. When you match someone, they will often match you back unconsciously. This is pacing and leading. You match, pace, then change, lead, and they follow. Active listening, body language, verbal cues like aha, shows you're engaged and builds rapport. Nod, make eye contact, lean in. Matching also works on the phone, speech patterns, speed, word choice. Example of pacing and leading, match an angry person's anger to build rapport, then soften your tone. Have them follow your lead. To demonstrate pacing, the author asks someone to sell this pen. A cocky salesperson dove in touting the pen, but that's wrong. The right approach, ask questions to determine needs and interest. This builds rapport, shows you care. You can't sell to someone who doesn't want or need the product. Qualifying prospects by asking questions is key before pitching them. Making a good first impression as a confident expert helps get honest answers. Your ability to gather information depends on this impression. Marketing identifies potential customers, gets them into the sales funnel, and passes them to sales. Online and offline strategies reach customers and prompt them to enter the funnel. Straight line prospecting bridges marketing and sales. It's a systematic process to qualify interested prospects and determine if they're viable before pitching them. The ultimate goal of marketing is to bring qualified buyers into the sales funnel so sales can turn them into customers. Not all will buy. Identify and focus on the most qualified. 1. Buyers in heat, motivated, ready to buy now, 10 to 20% of prospects. 2. Buyers in power, intend to buy but lack urgency, 30 to 40% of prospects. 3. Looky-loose, pretend interest but won't buy. Remove quickly. 4. Mistakes, entered accidentally or were dragged in. Remove quickly. The goals of prospect qualification are identifying prospects' needs, creating interest, and screening out unqualified buyers. This helps uncover buyer heat and buyer power to focus sales efforts on those most likely to buy. Here's a summary. Effective prospecting involves 1. Quickly identifying and removing unqualified prospects, looky-loose, and mistakes. 2. Gathering intelligence from interested prospects to move them towards a sale. 3. Increasing interested prospects' motivation to buy by amplifying their pain points. The 10 rules of prospecting provide guidance for gathering intelligence from prospects. 1. Focus on qualified prospects. Don't expect unqualified ones to become buyers. 2. Ask for permission to ask questions. This builds rapport and gives prospects control. 3. Focus on the prospect's pain points and needs, not your product. Ask questions to understand their situation and how you can help. 4. Ask open-ended questions. These encourage sharing details. Close-ended questions limit responses. 5. Listen closely and ask follow-up questions. Gain valuable insights into the prospect's situation. 6. Share a brief, relevant case study. Show how you've helped a similar client. Keep it under 2 minutes. 7. Explain the value. Briefly summarize how you can solve the prospect's key problem or need. Don't pitch yet. 8. Set a clear next step, example, schedule a follow-up call. Ask the prospect's permission. 9. Categorize prospects based on gathered intelligence. Determine if they are buyers in heat, power, looky-loose, or mistakes. Take appropriate action. 10. Continuously improve your questions, listening, and knowledge. Enhance your prospecting approach through ongoing evaluation and keeping your industry expertise up to date. The summary covers the essential elements of effective prospecting according to the straight line system methodology. The key goals and rules provide a framework for developing and improving prospecting skills. Does this summary accurately reflect the key ideas about conducting effective prospecting? Let me know if you would like me to clarify or expand on any part of the summary. Here is a summary of the key points. The strategy uses a step-down close where the requested order amount is decreased incrementally to reduce the prospect's perceived risk. This significantly increases the closing rate. Objections are expected and addressed with standard responses that acknowledge the objection but redirect the conversation to determine the prospect's certainty level. The prospect's certainty is gauged based on their enthusiasm and response using a scale of 1 to 10. Below a 7, the presentation is repeated to increase logical and emotional certainty before closing again. The pace, lead tonality technique is used to mirror and build the prospect's certainty level. The salesperson's responses are the same, but the tonality is varied. For certainty levels of 5 to 7, an enthusiastic response and follow-up presentation are used. For levels of 8 and above, an equally enthusiastic response confirms the prospect's positivity. The goals are to get the prospect's logical and emotional certainty as close as possible to a 10 and have an enthusiastic response to indicate they are willing to buy. An example dialogue shows how to apply pace, lead tonality in responding to a prospect named Bill at different certainty levels. The responses are the same, but the tonality varies to match and then increase Bill's enthusiasm. At the end of the follow-up presentations, an enthusiastic question is asked to determine if the prospect's certainty has increased to an 8 or above, indicating they are ready to buy. The summary highlights the essential elements, techniques, and goals of this step-down selling strategy focused on gauging and building the prospect's certainty to close the sale. Please let me know if you have any other questions. Here's a summary of the key points. Run additional loops or interactions to continue addressing the prospect's objections and lower their action threshold. High action threshold prospects require persistence and multiple interactions. With each loop, resell the benefits and solutions to help the prospect visualize the positive future state. Use emotive language and a soft close to ask for the sale again. Pay close attention to the prospect's body language and tone to monitor for signs of feeling pressured. If detected, pull back immediately and ease the tension. Reassure the prospect you have their best interests in mind. After a rebuttal, what you say next is most important. Move into rebuilding rapport and setting a follow-up. For example, review the information and discuss with your wife. We'll speak again next week. Determine callback success rates in your industry. Higher rates favor having the prospect call you back. Lower rates mean you should call the prospect. Never use pain to disempower people, only to motivate good buying decisions. Adapt persuasion to your ethics and situation. Success comes from mastering ethical persuasion while maintaining integrity. Continuously improve through learning and real-world experience. Additional options after rebuttals include: 1. Give the sale one more sincere, empathetic shot while monitoring for pressure. If detected, move to option 2. 2. Rebuild rapport, end positively, and schedule follow-up. For example, let me send details to review. We'll speak again next week once you've considered everything. Sound good? Be flexible in applying persuasion models to your unique industry and relationships. Tweak language and strategies to suit your needs. No matter how persuasive you are, you will only earn the right to keep speaking. True persuasion happens through the dialogue after the initial rebuttal. Does this summary accurately reflect the key points and options for continuing the persuasion process after addressing initial objections? Let me know if you have any other questions. The memoirs were published in over 60 countries. They were translated into 25 languages. The memoirs were adapted into a major film directed by Martin Scorsese.